Hello YouTube, my name is Ankit Biswas and this is part 9 of my new novel series, The Archimediae Genesis. If you haven't watched parts 1 through 8, links are down in the description up over here in this corner. Anyways, enjoy. Thanks. The Archimediae Genesis, Chapter 15, Caspian. The screams fade away, and the soft humming sound of engines fade in. The low growl of the engine vibrates through us. The tension in the van slowly dies as it rests to a stop. For what seems like the first time in eternity, the van doors fling open. Adjusted to the darkness, our eyes squirm and twitch at the torrent of light. The PND watching us staggers out of the van. "Single file, everyone," he says. Some of the kids tentatively try to come out of the van. Others, more reluctant, hesitantly shy behind. "I said single file!" the PND yells again. Snickers slip out behind him. Looks like this year's batch is a little skittish. More kids stream out, now scared by the orders. Some of them have teary eyes, probably the rich ones who lived high in the clouds, not used to the harshness down below. I follow, trying to keep my composure. The world around me unfolds into a stunning image of grays and monotones as my eyes part the doors. A long white tether jet sits in front of us. The front is sharp, its back expanding into a large elliptical curve, giving it the appearance of a white teardrop. Protruding from its tip is a curved hook and two adjacent suction cups. Two fins extend from its sides and rows of thrusters cover their rear. A large thruster attaches to the rear underside of the ship, casting a long shadow onto the launch ramp. Around 10 robotic arms secure it to the ramp, and a flat slope extends from one of the doors of it. The darkening clouds makes the scene a whole lot less surreal. "Alright, everyone, is everyone out?" one of the PNDs asks. "Yes," we all sullenly groan. "Shut up," the first PND interrupts in a bored voice. That's my line. "Follow me to the escalator," he says, casting a look at the first PND. A few kids, not including me, start to follow him. We mindlessly do so, behaving like robots. After all, what can you do when you know that probably hundreds of people were straight out slaughtered because of you, and hundreds of more people were going to be slaughtered because of you, because of us? Didn't we start this war? After all, they're fighting over Novae. "Get on the escalator," the PND commands in a monotonous voice. At this point, it's probably just a robot talking. The first kid looks around, oblivious to the fact that there's a white slope right in front of him. It's not his fault, because only they have those. They, who live in the clouds in those weird bubble things. They who bribe, extort, cheat, and even kill to become. They. Only they could afford those. One of they walks up, his tiny smirk on his face shining and knowing something that someone else doesn't. "How could you not know where the escalator is?" he asks, smirking, ignorant of the fact that the person he just said that to is wearing a smudged white shirt, torn tie, and ragged shorts. He doesn't know his parents' sins. Why would he? State-of-the-art storm case banging on his right leg, he confidently places his foot on the white slope. The underside of the thin slope curves into the shape of his feet, and he automatically slides up the escalator, delivered onto the tether jet. "Now he's probably gonna pass the SAST," he says, the first PND says in a matter-of-factly manner, pausing for a few seconds after he says it. "Well, what are you waiting for?" The poor kid shudders in fear. He tentatively places his foot on the escalator. He lets out a small yelp as it accepts his foot. Snickers break out, and his face morphs into one of confusion. He loses balance and almost falls on his back, arching in the air like those old 2D ballerina movies. The elevator retains its hold on him, though, his dirty blonde hair waving in the cold wind, his dark eyes agape in fear. His arms flailing, the elevator continues to drag him up the escalator, and unceremoniously releases him at the opening hatch. He lands on his face, muttering a small groan, stirring small giggles in our small crowd. Moaning with pain, he excruciatingly stands up, his neck dripping with sweat and tinted a slight reddish color. Shaking his head, he walks into the jet, not even acknowledging us, probably too ashamed to do so. The rest of us, having learned our lesson from him, tentatively also follow onto the escalator. When I first place my feet onto it, my heart jumps as my feet sinks into the squishy membrane. A vibration stirs and I slowly move up the escalator, as small bumps in the membrane warm my feet. The protochlorate would probably have caught us by now if they'd spent more money on Novae searches than this stuff. Oh well. The warm vibrations stop and the membrane releases me onto the tether jet. The ground is blanketed with a thick layer of carpet and soft, soothing vibrations of the engines, giving it a cozy atmosphere. The inner walls are beige, with a smooth, white hatch on my right. A hazy white force field lies to my left, guarding the interior behind it. A beep sounds as the sensor scans me in. The force field fades and I walk in, luggage in hand. But I can't even walk a single step when a heavy hand slams dead into my chest. I wheeze, but when I look up, it's just a non-Kachalik PPF. He looks concerned for a while, and then asks, "You got a diary in there, kid?" "Yeah," I nervously nod my head, unsure. "You sure?" he asks. "Come on, hurry up!" another kid yells behind me. "I think there's a thing called patience," the PPF says. "You should learn it." The kid sighs. "Anyways, open your bag," the PPF says, the slightest tone of boredom in his voice. I latch my suitcase and bring out the box, going through all the procedures to bring out my diary. He just taps something on his pad and nods, giving me a thumbs up. Unlike the PND that visited our complex, he doesn't seem too fazed. He's probably seen a diary hidden like that before. I put the box and diary back and head down the aisle. I look down and I can already see that there are only 2 seats left. One next to that poor kid and another in front of it next to the emergency exit. I get a choice. Either I sit next to the poor kid or not have anyone talk to me, or I sit at the emergency exit and have the jumpy, annoying kid in line behind me jabber away at my ear from the seat behind me the whole time. And I guess the poor kid's okay. I slowly meander over to the seat beside him, and just as I'm about to sit down, he slaps his hand down onto the seat. "No," he says. But I start, "No. You're gonna be an idiot and talk the annoying heck out of me," he says. "Person in row 3, please sit down," the PA rings. Everyone's eyes turn to me. Could this get any worse? "Come on, dude, just let me sit down," I protest. He sighs. "Fine," he says, snatching his hand off the seat. I stow my luggage in the overhead compartment and sit down. "We are approximately launching in 1 minute. Please maintain silence over the course of the ride." A few snickers ring out. This is gonna be a long ride. Around half an hour passes. I shift to the next page in my StormPad ebook. A shuffling noise sounds behind me. Fingernails scratch at fabric as a curious head pokes out behind me. "What you doing?" a red-headed boy whispers to me. "Reading," I answer. "Why, are you blind?" I retort. Geez, don't have to be so defensive, he says. What's your point? Chill, dude, you have any games on that? He asks. First of all, I'm not chill towards anyone who interrupts my reading. And secondly, yes, I do have games. Then why aren't you playing them? Why are you reading? Don't you have anything better to do than watch me play games? I ask. No. Yeah, no. And come on, you know you want to play, it's just your parents told you to read, right? No. Shut up, dude. I'm trying to study, the guy sitting beside him says. He sighs and finally sits back down. Okay. We're approaching Tether 2. To view, please look out of the windows, the PA says. Our side. The kid next to me and I both crane our heads to look out the digitized screens. They basically have a bunch of tiny cameras on the exterior of the tether jet, so when Control wants to show something to us, we see it. Right now we see a long, thick, rope-like rod swinging through the air. Attached on its end are several hooks and claws awaiting our tether jet. Preparing to latch onto tether, please secure yourself to the seat as this flight will ascend 5,000 meters in 10 seconds, the PA crackles. 3, 2, 1, we're rerouting all power to thrusters so you may feel. The tether jet jolts as it attaches to the tether. The seat bangs against my hips as my elbow slams into the armrest, sending a jolt up my arms. My heart drops to the pit of my stomach like that one time we went to an amusement park. The claws latch onto the ship and another bump strikes the ship as the suction cup and hooks latch on. Secured, flinging in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mechanical whirring sounds and the world drops under itself. Blood rushes to my head as my heart bangs, crushes my spine squeezing against the unrelenting sea. Agonizing pain crawls up my neck as bile rises up my throat only to have gravity force it down. Black. Unrelenting black. 3, the PA sounds. It must be counting the seconds. How? Black. The click of latch awakens my drowsy mind. My arms immediately seize up, an immense headache pounding in my head. The gush of liquid as a syringe injects something. 7, 8. The beep of a button as something activates. Something snaps as I whip my head around. There. Someone in a black vest with the orange USR insignia, United Solar